All right. Welcome back to the Pop and Wrestling Podcast, episode 27. For my point of view, my opinion for the Raw review that earlier happened, roughly 30 minutes ago in my time. um, welcome back. This is the Pop and Wrestling Podcast with Coach 23, where we talk about pro wrestling, pop culture, and life in general. So, yeah, as I said, Monday Night Raw happened, and they were, programmed or were emanated from Glendale, Arizona. Uh, Interesting Monday Night Raw. This is the go home show before Survivor Series War Games 2024. That will happen this weekend at where Canada, Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. Start time 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so that's roughly Sunday morning here, 7 a.m. Yeah. So get your coffee, your pandesal, your breakfast ready at the time. Uh, for that. But yeah, interesting Monday Night Raw. Uh, for a go home show, it's good. It was decent enough. Before I will give my point of view later, but let's go with the results first. Or Raw started uh, with Gunther opening the show. Jackie Redmond was there. She was about to interview him, and then the number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship, Damian Priest, interfered. They talked trash to each other. Damian Priest is still, nagging or lunging at Gunther's psyche of, being a dominant champion, just being quiet, being like, this vulnerable wrestler compared to those times that he was such a dominant champion. Um, Gunther has nothing to say at the time. He just hit Damian Priest in the head with a microphone, trying to beat him up. Damian Priest was able to recover, turn the tables on Gunther. Not really turn the tables, but he put Gunther through the table via Razor's Edge, with him holding the world title above his head, and taunting Gunther, since they're be having a match this coming weekend at Survivor Series as Gunther defends the World Heavyweight Championship against Damian Priest. First match of the night, American Made, the team of the Creed brothers against with Brutus and Julius Creed against the LWO team of Dragon Lee and WWE Hall of Famer Rey Mysterio. Decent tag team match for the team. Uh, Gable, I think, is still in a feud with Ray, continuing the feud. He interfered. He, messed up with Ray's mask that signified the win from the Creed brothers. So American Made defeated LWO in this tag team match. So furthering, the feud between American Made and LWO. Next up is Braun Breaker versus Ludwig Kaiser. It's a decent, great, no, not really even decent. It's a good, hard-hitting match between the two. Obviously, for this one, the de facto babyface was Braun Breaker. Ludwig Kaiser is really, getting, out of his shell, is really improving in terms of, character development. I'm not. This is not really. Well, yeah, it's a comparison in a weird way. Ludwig Kaiser is a better wrestler performer than Daniel Garcia, in my opinion, for AEW. And I'm looking at, if no, God willingly, he really breaks out or broke out on his own, Ludwig Kaiser might have the potential to be the breakout wrestler for next year, 2025. So yeah, interesting match. Uh, Hard hitting match. Ended in a disqualification when Sheamus, future Hall of Famer Sheamus, attacked Ludwig Kaiser, signaling a disqualification. And there's like a three-way brawl between Braun Breaker, because Braun Breaker he went to Sheamus' face, why did he interfere, and They brawled each other, so it's like a three-way brawl. Referees, security, producers were there to break the fight apart until uh, Adam Pearce, general manager for Raw, had enough and ordered a match between the three, a triple threat match between defending champion Braun Breaker against Ludwig Kaiser and Sheamus this coming weekend at Survivor Series. So it's going to be like a banger of a match, definitely a hard-hitting one. I can say my prediction later, or should we save it on Friday? Yeah, let's save it on Friday. So yeah, and so yeah, here then afterwards, a couple of video segments recapping the return of Paul Heyman last Friday on SmackDown, and introducing the fifth member for the OG Bloodline, CM Punk, against the team of the Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, and the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu, teaming up with Big Bronson Reed in a War Games match this coming weekend. So afterwards, tag team champions for tag team champions. The Judgment Day, the team of Finn Balor and JD McDonough defends the title finally after a month or so against the War Raiders, the number one contender. Uh, Decent tag team match, good chemistry between two teams. Until numbers game came to place. Dominic Mysterio and Carlito interfered, but not directly. No It's not disqualification. They were able to avoid it. But yeah, Judgment Day retained the tag team championship against the two. Next up, another tag team match. It was announced that next week on Monday Night Raw, it will be the 10th anniversary reunion. I don't know if Big E will be there. Probably he will be there. Possibly he will be there. You can't have a New Day reunion without Big E, but it will be the New Day 10-year anniversary. So afterwards, it's the New Day, the team of Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods against the team of Alpha Academy, but they're calling them Alpha Babes now. They're wearing a T-shirt called Alpha Babes. The team of Otis and Akira Tozawa. It was basically a squash match. New Day lost to the Alpha Academy or Alpha Babes, and uh, what happened is probably one of the best backstage segment that I've seen in a while between Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. It was like storyline wise, I know it's storyline wise, but they're really chewing each other out. You know that when they started, I'll probably tell the story later. Remind me that. So then afterwards, there was another backstage segment between Final Testament. The Miz went to the locker room of the Final Testament, Karrion Cross and AOP with Scarlett, and he told them, "Hey, Wyatt Six is in the parking lot." So they tried to attack them off camera, but guess after they went out of the room, guess who was there because they left Scarlett there in the locker room. Sister Abigail was there, or Nikki Cross, and commercial. Then afterwards, after commercial, they were walking back to the locker room, and Scarlett was like attacked or was like mind effed by Nikki Cross, and yeah, so it's like interesting turn of events again for the storyline between the Wyatt Six against the Final Testament and the Miz. Then afterward, earlier in the program, before the show started, Adam Pearce open up, or not really open up, but yeah, he announced that Raw will be getting a mid-card championship for Raw for the women. So it's the women's intercontinental champion, as we discussed a few episodes ago when they were announced the U.S. championship for women. So I told you it will be inevitable that you can't, you know, it will give the women's mid-card division for women's a title to fight for, and I said Selena Vega should win this one. I'm still hoping that Selena Vega will win that one, the IC title for women. So, yeah, they announced it. They'll be having a tournament starting next week. Then the main event of the evening is the Women's War Games Advantage match between world one half the women's world tag team champion Bianca Belair against WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax. Decent, great. Actually, it's not even decent. It's really a good or great match between the two. Good chemistry between Nia Jax and um, Bianca Belair. Kudos to to Nia Jax because she's this dominant female wrestler, but then she's a heel. She should be a monster heel, but she do this bumps to the baby faces, and kudos to them. My hats off to Naya. Then great match, good match for them between them. Final, final stages of the match. Bailey interfered, tripped Nia Jax, and then Bianca Belair executed a perfectly well timed 450 splash. Boom, and then it ended. Bianca Belair wins the War Games Advantage match this coming weekend at Survivor Series. And yeah, afterwards, Raw ended. Bianca Belair gave this Bailey like a look of satisfaction and like because they were like looking for a fifth member for the women's their team because Jade Cargill was placed in injury list. But according to reports, it's a legitimate injury. She's really banged up. She might take a little bit of time off. So yeah, that's what happened to Raw. So now my point of view and my opinion about the Raw review. The opening I kind of find it weak. Yeah, people might hate me with saying this, but yeah, the opening was really weak. It doesn't really gave me this, idea or really gave me this mood of I'm anticipating this Gunther Damian Priest rematch. They had a great, don't get me wrong, they had a great they had a great fight. They had a great match at SummerSlam earlier this year. Even the promo battles before that were great compared to now because Gunther is supposed to be the heel and you know Damian Priest is supposed to be the babyface, and you know Damian Priest, he's starting to become this arrogant, arrogant guy, and he's keep baiting on Gunther to do something to have his invincibility return. But the thing is, as I said, like a month after Crown Jewel, that are they making Gunther a babyface, which I think is a wrong in my opinion, around her because I can see him more as a dominant wrestler, an arrogant, dominant wrestler compared to like a sympathetic. Because right now I'm looking at him and he's almost like a mustard away from being sad Corbin. It was really quiet. It's like really, I sad at some. I mean, it's not him. And that doesn't really fit his character right now, being a champion at all. Man, come on. So I found the opening a little bit weak, and I'm not really. I believe they can have they have a great chemistry in ring wise, but the chemistry of this interviews, this build up going to Survivor Series kind of weak. I hope it turns. I definitely I'm going to predict a win there. I'll be saying that on Friday or Saturday or whatever. But yeah, so it doesn't really give me that that build up that I'm anticipating this fight, this matchup. So yeah, maybe it's just me, but yeah, hopefully I'm wrong. But definitely, I know they'll be having a great, hard hitting match this weekend. So afterwards, the women's War Games storyline of who attacked Jade Cargill will start to build up, I believe. A lot of speculation on the internet could be Charlotte Flair. I don't know why would she attack Jade Cargill. Um, could be Bailey because Bailey wants to be on that main event level or main event scene for War Games, women's War Games. And yeah, I still think that it could be Bailey. for storyline purposes that I don't find Bailey right now, this version of role model Bailey as a babyface. I still see her as a heel. I think when she became a heel after the Hugger Bailey, it made it added somewhere on an added layer in her character and personality, and she became more confident compared to then. So I think a heel Bailey would suffice. Could be Bianca Belair, and they can do what you know Triple H HBK circa 2002 or a few years back, a couple of years back, Carmelo Hayes versus Trick Williams of they attack. But people will ask, Bianca Belair was wrestling at the time. Nobody said that the attack happened during the match. They just saw Jade Cargill lying on the top of the car. So who knows that Bianca Belair could attack Jade Cargill 5 10 minutes before their match, the triple threat match that they had last Saturday. So who knows, right? It's an open book, and it's certainly interesting going for the next few months. Uh, so yeah, Bailey will be probably the fifth woman to join the team of Team Bianca, or is it Team Rhea? I don't know. Team Rhea. I believe there's still Team Rhea. For the American-made LWO feud, I think they'll be. This is just one of the first step of a further blown feud. Um, but the thing is, isn't American made a little bit outnumbered because you have Ray, Dragon Lee, Joaquin Wild, and the other guy. I forgot the other guy. Sorry, not being racist, but I forgot his name. So there's four men against three, with a team of Chad Gable and the Creed brothers. Plus they have Ivy Nile against Zelina Vega. But yeah, it's weird. But I think this is a decent mid card feud between the two. So yeah. Then afterwards, hard hitting match definitely. I can see a few weeks back the hard hitting great match between Chad Gable and Dragon Lee. So I expect good things between Chad Gable, even Ray against Ray on a one-on-one capacity, or even a rematch against Dragon Lee in the future. Uh, the triple threat feud for the Intercontinental Champion Braun Breaker against Ludwig and against Sheamus. Obviously, the babyface there is Sheamus. Tweener is definitely Braun Breaker, and the heel is Ludwig Kaiser. This will be a hard-hitting feud, a hard-hitting match definitely this coming Saturday. I'm sorry, for Survivor Series. Yeah, and this is one of the matches I'm looking forward to because definitely this is going to be a hard-hitting one. Uh, who wins? I'll tell my predictions later this week. And yeah, so the Judgment Day defended the tag team titles against the War Raiders. I was expecting they would be giving this to the War Raiders. Since War Raiders can definitely defend the titles against tag teams. Looking forward for a War Raiders versus AOP. Um, so and then afterwards, uh, what happens? Yeah, I didn't feel that aura of a title change that will happen. As much as I want there's a title change to happen for these titles, when there's like I said, I've been a fan for a long time. I can see like nuances or small things, but there's something missing in the match. There, don't get me wrong, they got great chemistry between Judgment Day and the War Raiders, but there was like I feel like War Raiders not winning this one. There was like this. I believe I said it to myself when they made the camera cut and they were looking at Ivar, and Ivar was like, "Ah," I'm like, "Oh no, they're not winning this one." For some reason, I have that certain feeling, and yeah, they didn't win despite a great match. Maybe I can see that War Raiders might still be the favorite to take the tag team titles against Judgment Day because I think they're the aside from AOP, the pure tag team in Raw right now. So yeah, that's my opinion about that. Uh, it's a Judgment Day breakup brewing. I can also sense that. because when Finn and Balor they're doing this rah-rah speech at the backstage, like like I said, after we kick Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest out of Judgment Day, Judgment Day doesn't have a leader. But as long as you listen to Finn Balor, we will be a success. I'm like, it's like an opposite of what he's saying. And Dom and Carlito were like, huh? But yeah, I can sense a breakup or tension brewing between Judgment Day. Who knows, right? I mean, one scenario. Why can't Dom and Carlito get a title shot against JD McDonough and Finn Balor? They're a tag team, right? So yeah. So New Day versus Alpha Academy. This what, like I said, it was basically a squash match, and maybe there's maybe a repackage for Alpha Academy of being called the Alpha Babes because they're wearing a shirt saying Alpha Babes. But yeah, the best segment for this Raw, the highlight for this Raw, is was the backstage segment between Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. This was that they're like teasing this breakup for like 2 or 3 months, 4 months now. It hasn't happened. A heel turn from Xavier Woods hasn't happened yet. Will it happen? Will it not? I even like sense earlier is Kofi Kingston turning on Xavier Wood because there's this scene that Xavier Wood was like on the ground or in the ring and Kofi Kingston was standing above him. It was like, wait, is Kofi turning heel for this one? But they instead they were like bickering around like two angry couple and they really they really it was a great chewing out of each other like, hey, before you came you were nothing. When Kofi is like telling that to Xavier Woods, you became king of the ring, didn't fizzle out, didn't no, never went to anywhere. And remember when you Kofi Xavier was like, you know what, you were like this in you weren't be world champion because of me. Because if not because of me, when we started New Day, you're just relegated to like a mid card status or whatnot. And then Kofi Kingston said, yeah, and without me, you would be nothing because you wouldn't be doing this as well. So they're like bickering each other and like a great line, a great shot was like, yeah, you became world champion, you became Kofi Mania, and you wasted it all for 6 seconds against Brock Lesnar. So it was really a great, bickering. Like really, really like then ended like, yeah, see you at the reunion, see you at the anniversary next. It was like Kofi Kingston said, see you at the reunion next week. So he was teasing probably with a big E tease there, or accidentally spilling it out, and then Kofi Kingston was like, and Xavier was like, yeah, see you in the anniversary. So we're like, okay, he corrected that. So sorry, excuse me. So it's really, really, a great one. It's a great thing that they did this 1 week before the anniversary or the reunion, instead of like doing this like a few weeks back, because it doesn't make sense if they do it like if they did this promo segment 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, because they were still a team, right? So yeah, but for me this was the highlight of Monday Night Raw. Uh, for the Nia Jax Bianca Belair, like I said, great, hard hitting, great match, great chemistry between Bianca and Nia, and obviously Bailey now will be joining Team Rhea Ripley this coming weekend at War Games. So I guess that's the only highlight for that. But yeah, like I said, for me, in my opinion, highlight of the night was uh that backstage segment between Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston, and also anticipating the reunion or anniversary next week. I'm sorry, at Monday Night Raw. So yeah, that's my Monday night review for today. My point of view about the what happened. Hopefully you like this video. Uh, Thank you for those who watched episode 26 when we talked DC movie history earlier. Hope you watch this video as well. Then yeah, couple of news. They really 72 million views for CM Punk for all social WWE social media when his with his return and Paul Heyman's return this Friday. So 72 million, wow. It's great. uh, CM Punk really draws now when he's really in the great mindset. They also finally shown that 9-10 minute mini documentary of CM Punk's return last year at Survivor Series the same time. uh you can see the emotion. You can see the raw emotion. There was nothing fake about CM Punk's body language, his attitude back then, and with Triple H as well, with Paul Levesque, the way they shake hands. It's like, despite of their hatred to each other 10 years ago, you can see that they really respect each other. And you know what? Even the hug that after CM Punk came back to the curtain, I'm like, yeah, how does it feel? How did it feel? Like, felt great, felt great. So welcome home. So it's like really a great moment for the both of them. And CM Punk really didn't lie when he was interviewed at the Ariel Helwani show, MMA Hour, and New Contest Wrestling from O'Shea Jackson Jr. Said that, yeah, I came to Raw, took picture of Steve Austin, sent it to Steve Austin the truck. Then I went to Gorilla after I signed the contract. Asked Triple H what they want me to do. Yeah, just stand between the shark cages and that's it. Do what you do. So it's really interesting because whatever when he told the story to those podcasts, those interviews, it really did happen. And there are like weird rumors here in the internet wrestling community that hey, there's a special clause on CM Punk's contract that he has to be on a certain best behavior clause. Buddy, whoever you are who's doing this report, it's not true. Why isn't not true? It's true, not true. It's true that there's a clause in contracts that you have to be on your best behavior, but every contract, and there's no special contract because in every corporate contract, whether if you work for a contact center, a corporate type of office or environment, there's always that not even a clause. It's always indicated there that you have to be on your best behavior, that you have to follow the rules and regulations of the company. You don't need a special contract for CM Punk to have that. Randy Orton probably has that in his contract. Seth Rollins probably has that on his contract. Roman Reigns even. You don't need a special clause for CM Punk to say, "Hey, you have to be on your best behavior every time." No, you have. If you're working for a corporate environment, you have to be on your best behavior every time. No matter if you're the president of the company, to the janitor, to the maintenance crew, to the ring crew, or whatever position you have in the company. So I don't believe there's a special clause to say that CM Punk has to be on a special behavior because there's always that clause in every employee. Weird stuff. And as far as the Gunter storyline, yeah, I find it weird. Found really weird of him being this type of sad Corbin. I mean, I was still expecting like an arrogant Gunter after Crown Jewel because Cody didn't. I hate saying fluke, lucky. It's a great move to win. You know, Gunter made the mistake, and it's just a simple mistake. It's not really, Cody pinned him using crossroads or submitting him to an ankle lock or a submission hold. No, it's just a roll up. If you're a fighter, if you're a boxer, MMA fighter, you know, there's no such thing as maybe there's a such thing, maybe 1% such thing as lucky shot. But if you're a basketball player, an NBA player, even if you're not the highest, you're the superstar in your team, you're still taking 100, 1,000 shots per practice. If you're a boxer, you know how to well time a punch, same as an MMA fighter. In pro wrestling, I know where they're telling a story, but it's not lucky that Cody Rhodes rolled him up after he was put in a sleeper. It, Bret Hart used that move countless times, dozen of times. Cody even used that to against Brock Lesnar last year when Brock Lesnar was, you know, holding Cody's arm in a Kimura lock, and just Cody Rhodes just pushed his shoulder, Brock's shoulders to the mat. One, two, three. So it's not really, a fluke, a lucky. Even case to the point. If you saw Juan Manuel Marquez versus Manny Pacquiao four, when Manny Pacquiao got knocked out by Manuel Marquez, people are saying I'm a Filipino and I'm always a Manny Pacquiao fan. It's not a lucky shot that people say it's a lucky shot. Nope. There's For boxing, unless you're like wobbly and you can't fight anymore, then you just punch someone. That's a lucky shot. But the thing is, Juan Manuel Marquez is one of the best counter punchers in boxing. Manny Pacquiao is not really a counter puncher. Manny Pacquiao is a southpaw. He did a jab. When he did a jab, all Juan Manuel Marquez did was like, yep, then counter punch. Or I think he went the other way because I believe he's orthodox. So yeah, I'm sorry. So Juan Manuel Marquez made this, then when Manny Pacquiao's jab went here, well timed punch. It's not a lucky shot. Juan Manuel Marquez was anticipating that shot. And it's like similar to like a Cody Rhodes Gunter match at Crown Jewel. It's like Cody Rhodes is waiting for Gunter to make a mistake, and Gunter made a simple mistake. I mean, Gunter could go to Monday Night Raw and say, you know what, it's a fluke. You won by a roll up. Didn't make me tap out. You didn't pin my shoulder. With me looking at the ceiling, with the crossroads or whatever your finisher is. So I find this you know Gunther storyline weird in a way. I don't like him to be a babyface. Not yet, as of the moment, because I still want him as that heel champion. Because who knows, come WrestleMania, who will be he facing? Possibly John Cena. Who knows, right? So yeah, that's my point of view. You can like it. You can say, yeah, my thinking is crap. I don't mind as long as you say it in respectful manner. That's fine. But not really. There's this one movie. One character, I believe it's a Will Ferrell movie, with all due, no, I'm sorry, Ant-Man, the first Ant-Man movie, when Scott Lang said, when he told his ex-wife, you know what, I know I love you, with all due respect, you married an asshat, and Bobby Cannavale said, oh, come on, no, you don't say that language. What do you mean? I said hat because of asshat. So yeah, still respectful, with all due respect. So yeah, but yeah, that's it. That's episode 27 for the Pop and Wrestling podcast for my Raw review and point of view about what's things happening in WWE Raw. And yeah, see you tomorrow. Probably tomorrow. Yeah, definitely tomorrow you'll see me. Hope you don't guys get sick of me. But see you tomorrow for my NXT review as well. So that's one episode. Then another episode will be for Snyderverse for DC, what went right and what went wrong, in my opinion. So thank you guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same channel, here at the Pop and Wrestling Podcast, where we talk anything pro wrestling, pop culture, and life in general. And you're with me still, Coach 23. Adios.